Welcome to another edition of the Muscle News and Merlin podcast. My name is Kevin Grech and my partner Eric Brozer.
Yep, right here, sitting in my chair, ready to go.
Yep. Episode 8.
Episode 8. Wow, 8 already. Wow, I can't believe we're
Yeah,
on the eighth one.
yeah,
Time
yeah.
flies.
Episode 8. I'm slipping in my chair. Episode 8. And no, today we have a good show again coming up with some interesting subjects, and we'll improvise as we go along like we always do.
As always. There's no script here.
No, 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 no. What's good about bodybuilding is once you talk about something, it opens up something else. So,
Absolutely does. But we
yeah,
have some topics in mind, which I think should
yeah,
be pretty fun.
yeah, yeah. So, first of all, uh, Ronnie Coleman's okay. Thank God.
I was so happy to see the video of him
Yeah.
looking, he looked tired, he looked
Yeah, he
drawn,
is. He is. He is.
but he had energy and he was talking and he was,
Yeah.
excited about the Ronnie Strong program that he's
Yeah.
starting to help awareness on sepsis.
I
So
mean,
thank goodness the guy's okay.
I know what sepsis is, but I read about it afterwards, and it still can get complicated. I
He said
mean,
it almost killed him. He's almost
he
dead.
he is out of it, but he's not out of it yet because there can be
Complications afterwards.
complications afterwards.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
hopefully he's clear and things, but it's amazing. Just like I mean, a small infection what it can do. I mean, I don't know how he got it, or I mean, he didn't get into detail yet, but
No, they haven't said it. They never said where it came from or
no,
why,
he
but
did an operation as well.
yeah, and
So.
that we don't know. I think that might have been a heart thing.
Yeah, could have been. He
I
probably
think that was
did
a heart. I
tests.
think it was a heart thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But
And and unfortunately, Victor Martinez as well. It's the stories
I,
going around that he had to go
I
in
just
for
saw that today. You sent that to me before I had even seen
yeah, yeah. It just
that
came
Victor
up.
went in for some type of a serious like emergency surgery, but
Yeah,
they didn't give
yeah.
us any details.
No details yet. So hopefully he'll get over it soon. He's a cool guy. I uh I was lucky to speak to him in Europe once in Barcelona. In fact, he walked out of the Arnold Classic Europe, and I walked with him to the hotel. Really cool, down to earth guy. You
He
know?
has a very good reputation in the industry amongst people that
Yeah, yeah.
friendly, cool dude,
Oh, he's
like
cool.
that,
Relaxed.
and he's had a rough life. I mean, a lot of stuff has
Yeah,
happened with him.
yeah, yeah,
So all we could do is send out prayers to him as well that he's going to be okay. Thank
yeah,
God Ronnie's okay, and hopefully
yeah,
we'll keep
yeah.
getting better.
I
But
mean,
I hate seeing all these.
yeah.
Not that I want to get into the topic, but I just
No,
hate
no,
seeing all these bodybuilders lately.
no, no.
Having serious health problems or passing away. It's terrible.
Yeah, a female pro passed away, or amateur. I don't know what she was. The other day as well at 41, which is really
And
shocking
we
as
don't know
well.
the details on that one either.
No, no, I didn't really. I'm trying to, I just read them a bit, and I'm trying to not. It could be anything. The minute you write something, all the comments get out of hand, so it's better not to publish anything anymore because
Well, we
once you
don't know. I mean, we don't know what it is, and we
you
just know
don't
it
know.
happened. So it's
Yeah,
sad,
yeah. I
regardless of
mean,
why.
yeah. I mean, getting back to Victor Martinez, you said he had a rough life, and even his sister was murdered once.
Yes,
Murdered.
I mean, that's what I
That
mean.
was There was a Netflix special feature documentary. It was about these crimes in New York, and I'm watching this thing, um, and all of a sudden he pops up. It was a whole
I saw the
section
same
of
thing.
yeah,
I saw the
section
same
about
thing. I
his
remember seeing that going, whoa.
yeah, section about his sister. I mean,
Yeah.
crazy. Really had a hard life, going to jail because of I think it was immigration and things like that, and he was right at his peak. He could have
Yeah.
went for Jay Cutler again in 2008, but unfortunately,
And let's be honest, and I think Jay might agree. I think he deserved it in 2007. I
yeah,
think he's an uncrowned Mr. Olympia.
yeah, Milos always tells him that,
I mean,
he was
he was
amazing.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
he really was. He looked amazing that year. So
So, but it is what it is. He had a good career still. Um,
he's still a big boy too. I mean,
yeah,
this
yeah.
day he's
Genetics.
He's a big boy. He's still training, obviously.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
anyway, let's just hope that whatever
yeah.
he's going through, he gets through it and he's okay.
Hopefully he gets through it. So
Yep.
next up is my it's becoming a weekly thing where I see a good post on Instagram or Facebook and I say this is good to feature on the show. Something small. It doesn't have always bodybuilding related. Either it's a freak or some news or something else. So
So it's going to be the Kevin Shocks Merlin
yeah,
weekly.
Kevin on the sofa watching Netflix, browsing his mobile.
And I'm going to surprise Merlin with this one. So I have no idea what you're going to show me, which is cool.
Yeah, yeah. Let me show you. So first we have, let's get it out. First we have this freak.
Ah, Nick.
Yeah. What happened?
Nick is looking pretty freaky.
Yeah, he disappeared.
He did
Where-
disappear there.
Yeah, there he is. Look at that.
He is looking dangerous. I wonder if Bob Chicarilla looks at that and goes, uh-oh.
Can you, I mean, look at that.
He
Keon
looks
said, what,
full.
WTF, you know?
Yeah, Nick is looking
He's like,
full hard.
I got this up just to come. All right, Rubel's in condition here, but it's going to be a freak show at the Olympia, huh?
You're gonna have some freaky listen, and I've seen some shots of Hottie
Yeah,
looking beastly.
yeah,
I've
yeah,
seen shots of
yeah,
I saw Samson posing.
yeah,
He's
Samson.
humongous.
Yeah. But
Um,
one guy's called Neckzilla, and Nick has no neck practically.
yeah, well, yeah, it looks like he just has a head buried on
Look at
traps.
that. He's a freak, huh? I'm telling you.
He is coming, he's serious.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
is
It's
serious.
gonna be interesting. Now, I got two things this week. Um, I think I showed you this guy. Now, this guy, did
Oh, yeah, yeah, you did show me that
I
guy.
think he's Russian. The
He looks pro.
condition. Look at him. He's an anatomy chart. Look at that. You can see. You can
Yeah,
see.
he is literally an amount and there's like 0% body fat there. I mean, it doesn't, he's not a very big guy. He obviously looks
No,
like he
no,
weighs like
it's just
150.
but the thing is, he
Look at his
just
calf. Look at that
yeah,
calf.
yeah, yeah. Wait, look at that, look at that. I mean, the guy has no fat, you know.
He almost looks like he's not just a body, but like he looks like he lifts weights, but he looks like he does like
Yeah,
all kinds of stuff. Look at that
yeah.
calf.
I mean, I can't understand, you know. You know how many followers he has? 2.4 million.
I don't know who the Stepan Utishev.
Ustashev.
Utishev.
He's something Russian. Yeah.
He doesn't. I don't even think he's a competitor. I think he's just a
No,
freak.
no, just a guy that,
Likes being shredded.
he likes being shredded, you know. I mean, look at that. Try
Yeah,
doing that, getting that,
he's the
condition.
miniature version of Andreas Munzer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyways.
That's he's a, it's just I mean obviously I would want to have a lot more muscle than
Yeah, I
that,
know, but
but you can't ignore that condition. That's pretty
he's a
impressive.
he's a freak, but it's unbelievable. But anyways, I
Yeah,
wonder
that's
if
fun.
that if he was beside a guy bigger than him, not as conditioned, who would win? That would be
Then
the
probably the bigger guy probably
yeah.
because he's too small. I mean I've seen girls with more muscle than that,
I
but I
know,
mean
I know, I know.
but I don't
But
think he's in it from I think he's in it to just be freaky
yeah,
shredded and that's his thing
well,
and
he's
that's
get
cool.
yeah, he's getting the followers.
He certainly can go into one of those like a university drawing classes, so like
Yeah,
anatomy,
anatomy
and
chart.
just
Yeah,
stand there and they'd have to
yeah,
draw his
yeah. I mean,
muscles.
I don't know if that's genetics, but I don't know how healthy that is to be without any fat like that.
I don't know. I mean, some of it's got to be genetics, but I'm sure he also makes it happen
Yeah,
the way he's doing it. He doesn't look like he's using anything either. He just looks like he's natural, naturally freaky like that.
yeah,
But
yeah. Amazing, amazing. And his legs are cut too because he has some. I was browsing his stuff and it was
well,
like,
those calves are like you see every line
yeah.
in the calf shredded.
But anyways, um, so those were my two
All
special
right. Well, those are
photos.
good. Those are good. I like that.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, you put up Nick Walker, who looks like a tank, and you put up that guy who's like
Yeah,
skinny.
he doesn't even Nick Waters Walker's triceps bigger than his, So,
His whole body.
and getting back to Nick Walker, I saw a clip of him this week. He doesn't really care about those guys dancing on stage. It's like he says it's entertainment. Let them do what they want, you know.
That's opinion,
He's
and everybody
he's
has their own.
open-minded, He just let them do what they need to do, I mean, I like him for that, He
I
doesn't.
don't, and again, I don't really have anything against, but you also have to hit poses. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tit poses. I mean,
you have to hit poses. You know what though? If Milos got his wish and the posing round became scoreable again,
yeah, yeah,
you'd have to hit poses because
yeah.
otherwise they're not gonna, if you dance, you're gonna get scored for terrible score.
True, it's true.
So
But
you'd have to pose.
yeah, I mean, today I was listening to a podcast. I mean, Dave Palumbo, and he was saying, there should be some kind of screening thing that people, or I think it was him saying it. I don't know. I hope I'm not wrong. Those type of guys shouldn't go on stage. But if you're at an amateur show, you you can't blame the promoter if this guy wants to go on stage. You know what I mean? I mean, if they're really out of shape, you know what I mean?
The
Um,
only way, if that was such, if it was, if there was so much disdain for people do going on stage and doing that kind of stuff, then I think that there would have to be a change in the NPC rules and something that says if during your posing routine you must at least hit a certain amount of poses or something,
and you have
if
to
it became a problem.
look like a bodybuilder. You know what
Yeah,
I
like
mean?
you can have your individuality, but
Yeah,
you also need to stop and do your poses, otherwise you'll be cut off or something like that.
because
But I don't. It's not like so many people do it. It's just like
yeah, I know.
rare.
Because like Romano had a good point. He said this is not a show. These are not shows where you show like if you're really overweight and you lost weight. That's something totally different. All right. Um, then there's those bodybuilders that are like almost there, and then they do a freak show, a freak posing routine like they did. That's something different. But there could be a debate about it. But who's the person going to tell you not to go on stage?
Yeah, no, everybody should be able to go on stage. That's silly.
Beginners, a beginner's section, a beginner's I mean, it happens in Europe as well. I mean, there are, beginners thing. The only time maybe like the IVB in Europe of Rafael, they might tell you not to do a show or some not they might, suggest like if you want to go to compete at the European Championships or the World Championships as an amateur, they might tell you, listen, win your class in your country, Malta, Italy, or whatever, right? And prove to us that you are capable to go to a show at such a high caliber. Even though it's an
Yeah,
amateur show, you have to prove yourself to get there. And they might advise you and say, listen, it's better you do another couple of regional shows or national championships before you take that step because they know the quality that's there and they don't want to see their athlete or the person just get thrown to the back because they know it's there it's not like the Olympia, the top 15 are the best in the world. That's something totally different.
yeah,
You are qualified to go there. But sometimes, a bit of, a talk with the president of each the country or whatever. Sometimes, they help out the athlete, telling him, listen, you're good to go to do this or do that, or whatever. Like it's like that there was, I'll touch a bit on it. In the past, they used to say the IFBB never used to give out the pro cards when you want to. It's not they never used to give out the pro cards. Sometimes you would win a national show championship with a very weak lineup, right? And it in reality, you are not pro material, okay? Like
yeah.
what's happening to many athletes today. Some get pro cards and they are not pro material.
No,
They don't
they're
even
just the
come
best guy
close.
that day.
Sorry, you're the best guy
They're
that
just the
day.
best guy that
Yeah,
day in
yeah.
that lineup.
So what they would do is not to discourage the athlete. They tell them, listen, we'll fly you to the World Championships. If you place in the top three in your category, which will be of 30 athletes sometimes, we'll give you your pro card. Okay? We're not telling you to win the overall. We're not telling you to win first. If you place in the top three, you're worth that pro card. And what happens? They will go, they place dead last. So the judges and the presidents and stuff, they have eyes. They know what's good for the athlete. It's like Steve Weinberger. I bet you he'll be dead honest with the guy. and tell them, listen, don't compete at that show. You
Oh, he
know,
would. He would say it.
you know what I mean? So sometimes a bit of criticism is good for the athlete, you know, and you have to reality, you know. We're not telling them not to, you know, uh, push forward. It's you know, small steps. It's not, you know, you got a pro card, now what are you gonna do? And they never compete again, you know, they never compete again. So
Yeah.
it it is what it is. You know, the beginning stages of bodybuilding can be a bit tricky, sensitive, and you have to see, you know, how you go about, you know, speaking to the young athletes, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
some
Well, that, I
pros,
mean, all of this is related to the people who say, me somewhat in agreement that there's too many pro cards handed out
yeah,
today,
yeah,
and that it's easier to earn it, and it's probably better to make it harder to earn it because
yeah,
then if you
yeah.
do earn it, you fit in. I mean,
I
you
mean,
definitely
like,
meant to be a
I,
pro. There's so many people who turn pro today
yeah,
who
yeah,
really aren't yet pro. Maybe
yeah,
they will be at some point, but they
yeah.
get their pro card, but they're really not pro
Yeah.
material,
It's like that
So,
lineup when Kevin won his pro card. There was six or seven of the best bodybuilders that ever graced the stage, you know, and
yeah,
they only one guy got a pro card, the rest didn't, you
correct.
know.
That's what I mean. It's gotten a little too easy today, but that's a whole nother
Yeah, that's a
topic.
subject we'll talk about another day. Next up we discussed the most underrated bodybuilders of all time.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, you gave me a list of
I gave
some,
you a list that
yeah,
I kind of that
yeah,
came to my mind
yeah,
just offhand. And I would like to say that out of that list, in my opinion, Charles Claremont was the number one
yeah, amazing,
because
amazing.
that guy had an absolutely
Yeah.
outstanding
Yeah,
physique.
let's start with him. Let's start with him. Let me get something on Google here.
He had just
Yeah,
conditioning, symmetry, proportion, great balance. He was just
yeah,
a just had an incredible look to his body.
yeah.
And I don't think he ever got quite the placings or the credit that he deserved. Um,
Here we go. So this is Charles.
I mean, look at that front double. Look at that shot. That
Let's
looks
I don't know if this one was touched up a bit. This
that
one.
looks touched up. That one looks touched
Look at
up. Yeah,
that. Let me see if this, yeah. Are you seeing it good?
I see it. I see it. It's small, but I see it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because some of them are not really high res. Look at that.
I mean, just beautiful proportions, symmetry. Everything's balanced. No, he's not a mass monster by any means.
Yeah.
But neither was Flex Wheeler. I mean, like
No,
he's
no.
just got.
This is
I
fantastic.
mean, look at that. He had quads. He has chest, arms, delts. His abs are great. He had a good back, and um, he was very good with his posing. He used certain angles in his posing that were unique and really displayed him at his absolute best. But that shot right there shows. I mean, he is
Amazing.
just
Amazing.
that's just an
Amazing.
amazing physique. I mean, I don't know. Did he win any pro shows? I know he placed top five many times.
Um,
I don't know that he'd won any pro shows.
let's go into muscle memory.
I'm curious to know what his history was. I know he had a lot of top placings, but oh, and I wonder what his top placing was at an Olympia, maybe seventh or something.
I think I'm writing his name wrong.
Yeah,
I
his
know he
name's
competed with Naba. Here you go.
right. So
So he was born in 1962. So he won the European NABA championships
first he was
over.
in NABA, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So then
Oh, he
overall
did
winner,
win pro
Mr.
shows.
Universe, Mr. Universe Pro overall, he dominated. Then in 92, somehow I remember when the media told the story of how he came over when they discovered him. He had to win a national contest and whatever. Uh, so
He
he
had a great
managed.
year in '93.
Yeah, 92 he was at the one. Then in 93, you know, the English Grand Prix, Finland, France,
Four wins,
yeah,
and that was
yeah,
yeah. That was I knew he
Spain.
placed seventh at the Olympia. That was in '90. That
Yeah,
was the same year that Dorian won. So that was a
yeah,
heavy line.
yeah. 94, you know, the English Grand Prix, third, France, third, you know, maybe he tapered off where the competition got harder. He never won again, but he was always in the top eight, you know, top 10.
Yeah, he had a lot of third places. He was third at
I
the Arnold
mean,
Classic.
Olympia 8th, 10th, 9th, and then 12th. He had a fantastic career, huh?
He had a great career. Yeah, I mean, he had some win, but I just think that overall he never quite got the attention that he
Yeah,
deserves for just having. I just think he has one of the best physiques of all time, in my opinion, if you take everything to consideration. If you're somebody who loves mass monsters and that's your thing, then you
yeah.
might not think so. But if you like balance, symmetry, proportion, he had it all. He really had it all.
Yeah, let me see if this opens up. Yeah, look at that. Chiseled.
His waist was flat as can be. He had amazing biceps,
Yeah, yeah,
amazing biceps, very peaked.
yeah. Milos, I always mention Milos because Milos talks a lot about the history of
If you go down one to that front double bicep, he does it at an angle, straight one down right there.
one,
Yeah, yep, that one.
this one.
I love the way he hits this shot.
Yeah, look at
The
that.
way it almost looks like he was hitting a classic physique pose,
Yeah.
and he looks almost like a big classic bodybuilder right there.
Look at his arms. The biceps are
As I
huge.
said, the biceps are crazy. His biceps are crazy. He didn't really have any weak pose. Look at him next to Flex Wheeler, a little
This,
higher up,
yeah, yeah.
right there.
It's a video thing. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, he holds his own right there. I
yeah,
mean, next to one of the best that ever lived.
yeah. Mike Quinn. No, he was. Here he is with Milos. Milos talks really. He talks really. Uh, highly
Porter
about
Cottrell
him.
too. Look at that.
Yeah,
Porter Cottrell. I haven't seen him in a while.
yeah. Amazing, amazing.
So
Oh yeah, the fantastic bodybuilder.
so
Yeah, truly underrated. Look at that.
there you go. Truly underrated. So that's my opinion of Charles. All right. Well,
Oh, that's
let's move on.
Charles.
Let's
That's
see who else
that's
we got.
yeah, that's Charles. Let's see what else. Let's see what else there is.
You could tell me who's on my list there.
Yeah. Then we have Casey Viatorre.
Yeah, I wanted to go back and also go back a few decades and go back into like the 70s.
Casey was a beast as well, huh?
And he was a beast of a guy, and I don't think he ever got credit for as good as he was.
Yeah.
He was in the gym, he was one of the strongest guys ever. I think I remember that he used to incline press over 500 pounds for like 6 or 7 reps.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was
Um,
very dense.
Look at that. He was much younger here, I think, or older. I don't know. Um, no, I always saw him as a
Yeah, look at
real
that. You see him pressing the incline press there?
this one,
Like
eh?
it's got like 5 plates on there or something.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think he really was able to do that for like 6, 7, 8 reps. Like he was
yeah.
a beast.
I always see him as I always saw him as a hardcore, really hardcore bodybuilder. I
That's a
think,
nice picture. Yeah, he had great forearms too. He's known
yeah,
for his forearms.
I think later on in his career, I think his biceps started to he's lag a
That
bit.
shot's a good one.
This one, eh?
That shot right there. Look at that.
Yeah, look at
Look at
that.
that delt in that arm.
Yeah.
And
And
he had legs.
he was like old school off season, he would blow up, Uh, he would really get, he was the youngest American in history. At 19, he won the AU Mr. America.
Yep,
Wow.
at 19, he was a beast.
Yeah, look at that. What did I tell you?
I remember that picture in the magazines.
Yeah. I so
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
Casey.
obviously today he wouldn't be, amongst, the
No,
top
but
pros or anything. But
back
just for
then,
his
yeah,
time, I think that he was a great bodybuilder, and he never
yeah,
really got
yeah, yeah,
enough credit for how good he was.
yeah.
So that's
So
Casey.
so that's Casey. All
Who
right.
else?
So then we have Thierry Pastel. Look
Terry
at
Pastel, to me, because he was so short, such a short bodybuilder, but man, was he packed with muscle.
what was he really that short?
I think he was only like 5'4", but his arms, his abs, his
Yeah.
thighs,
The abs were just sickening, man. Look at that. Look at that. Let me see this. Nah, crap. It's
too
small.
small.
Yeah. Open. Open image in new tab. I don't know why it's no, it's coming out small.
Grab some of
Um,
those color shots. Come of those, so show his arms.
this one, eh?
Look at those biceps.
I thought he was taller.
No, he's a short guy. He's like, look, that's why they're comparing him to Pete Priest.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
I
Look
mean,
at
small waist,
look at
big
that.
thighs. Look, the abs are insane.
Yeah, Yeah.
I mean, he really had
There you go.
a tremendous physique.
Wow.
I don't know that he ever won a pro show either, but
Huh?
I mean, you don't have to go look it up, but I'm not sure. But
But I don't think he was. I think he was always a front runner. He was always up
he was
there.
always in the mix because he was so dramatically. But look at that, how great he looks in that pose,
Yeah. Look at
even though it's
that.
tiny.
Look at that.
The way he would see the way he would kind of like shift his waist and bring out the lat. Very interesting the way he hits that shot.
But it's amazing how the abdominals back then were, 3D like. Not.
Oh yeah, because there's
Yeah.
no waist. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a flat waist.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Listen, but Rubiel, his abs are like,
Oh, I know. He's got some crazy abs.
yeah.
Some
So
crazy.
that that's something. So next up, I saw this guy live in Toronto guest posing. Let me see if you would know as Batman.
Oh, Aaron.
Yeah.
Oh, Aaron was highly underrated. He had,
Yeah. What
I
happened to
think
him?
today he would still have a physique that people would envy because he's so round and he had one of the best backs, some of the best arms.
What happened to him?
I don't know. I don't know. I think he got fed up with placings that he didn't think he deserved, but I don't know.
Uh,
I haven't really heard much about him, but he was a Gold's Gym Venice regular.
well, he used to guest pose as Batman, and I once went to I think it was the Toronto Championships. I have the photo somewhere. I was starting to get into photography, and I remember I took a roll of black and white shots. Back then, it's either you take them black and white or color. It's and he was just starting to making a name for himself, and I don't know what happened. I mean, he just like fell off.
He had some high placings. I don't think he ever won a pro
Look at that.
show, and I don't think he was ever high at the Olympia. But I don't know. I mean, I think that he was never really
He
given.
went to the WBF as well.
Yeah, he was one of the ones that went over there.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he was one of there you he was
We
one
have
of
some pictures of him.
at the WBF.
No, just pictures of Aaron in general. I want to see some shots.
Yeah, let me see. I'm
Why he
trying
was
to
that
get because
good.
they're all like the same.
That's strange. I would think there'd be a lot of different shots of
Yeah.
Aaron
I mean, there's this one, look. Uh,
because he was, man, he was his muscle bellies were so round.
yeah, yeah.
His back double bicep was incredible. His front double bicep.
Look at that.
I don't see that one.
No,
I don't
wait,
see
one
it
sec,
yet.
one sec. Let me see if it's big. Look at that. That's with Munzer.
It's
Seen
not on the
that?
screen. It's not on the screen.
It's not on the screen?
Nope. I don't see it on the screen.
Really? Wow, what
Nope.
happened?
Nope. Come on. Come
Ah,
on.
crap. Sorry. That's why you're telling me that, and I'm seeing them alone.
Oh, you're still looking at pictures. I don't see anything.
Sorry about that.
There we go.
I'm hearing you telling me I want to see some pictures of Aaron. I'm going through them looking for them.
No, I didn't see anything.
But there you go.
Yeah,
Podcast.
yeah.
Look at
Actually
that.
look at Aaron's glutes there. Look how shredded his glutes are.
Yeah,
He had some shredded glutes, but you gotta is there some front double biceps or
yeah.
side chests?
Okay, let's go back to the top because I
Yeah,
was.
because I didn't see any of these. I literally did not see any of them. Look at that
No,
shot right there. I
yeah,
mean, that is outstanding. Look at that arm.
crazy, crazy. No, he was. That's why when I was explaining them, you're like, yeah, there's like I got to see some photos, and I just kept
What about
going.
that back double bicep that's right below the one you're on? Right
Yeah, look
below
at
it.
that. Look at
Look
that.
at that. Look at that back. Look at the arms. Look at the delts.
Yeah.
There's not many guys who match that double bicep right now.
No, he had an amazing physique. Look at that. I mean, that's what, Coleman, very young.
That's a younger
Aaron
Coleman.
and Sean, all right. They're not that, it could be different eras, but look at that.
Just in terms of fullness
Yeah.
and completeness, he had legs too.
Is this him? Yeah.
That does. Oh, it looks like is that him?
Is
It
that
looks
him?
like him.
It looks
Did he
like
shave his head?
probably near the end of his career. Look at that.
Maybe. Look at that back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And his glutes are shredded too. He was, I mean, if you saw that picture right now and you didn't know who it was, you'd think he's a Olympian. I mean, he looks incredible.
Look at the
The detail and the width of the arm from top
everything
to
is
bottom.
separated. Look at that.
I mean, you look at that, and that is comparable to any back, including Derek's,
Yeah.
on stage.
Yeah. My good friend Raymond Kassar of Muscle Time, lives in Malta as well. Takes all the, has thousands and thousands and thousands of photos from the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s. These are all when you see these pics with all from film, it's him. And he has his little
Yeah,
name
yeah,
there.
yeah,
He's been at the best shows. There he is as Batman, the way he used to guest
yeah. That was
pose.
his thing.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I had to put him on the list because to me,
Amazing.
he was just highly underrated. He did not get
Yeah.
placings that he deserved. But so Aaron's another one.
Yeah,
Maybe
Aaron.
grab another.
Let me
Let's see if we can
clean
get maybe one or
let me
two
clean
more
up here a
for my
bit.
list.
Yeah. Sec. This guy was great. Sunny.
Oh, see, Sonny Schmidt, also on another underrated bodybuilder in my opinion.
A shame that he had to move on at such a young age as
Young
well.
age.
Yeah, look at that.
He was another guy who was not terribly huge,
No,
but very balanced,
yeah,
small waist, proportioned, and very conditioned.
look at his back. Amazing.
And he had one of the most striated chests. I remember when he did a most muscular shot, his chest would just splinter.
yeah.
But he had some very high placings. He was always in the mix with
Look
everybody.
at him there with Dorian.
Look at that chest. Way
Let
to
me
go.
see. Let me see if it comes up. Look at that.
It's a good side chest. Look at that chest. You could see the striations. There's
Yeah,
the one that he just had up there.
this is an amazing picture. Look
He's
at
next
that.
to two of the biggest guys.
Yeah, he's holding his own there, huh?
Yeah, look at his quad.
Yeah,
And look at that chest, that splintered chest.
yeah. No, he was there. He had it as well, huh?
So he's one of those guys that was physically not that huge, but he created the illusion of size from his
Yeah,
proportions.
yeah.
All right, let's
This
grab one more.
guy, yeah, this shows a little bit of our
Let's go. Do we have like somebody a little bit back in the day, a little bit older,
this
like
guy I
maybe
never wait, let me write. Sometimes um this guy John
Sherman?
Sherman. Never really
He
heard of
was
him.
tremendous. And he just fizzled out quick. Look at that.
That's Sergio Olivia. Uh
His proportions were amazing. He was another little guy. I think he
there you
turned pro
go.
like as a middleweight.
Muscle time again. Let me see if it's not small. Uh Amazing, huh?
He had a fantastic shape to his body. I don't think he competed as a pro for very long. I don't know what happened, but I remember when he turned pro, I was like, that is one of the best bodies. I don't know. He's not in that shot.
No, no,
I don't
it's
know who some of these guys are. I mean,
no,
that's
not too
Dan
many,
African,
not too
but
many photos of him. But the tank, they used to call him the tank.
yeah, because he was little. I think he was only like 5'3".
Wow.
He was a short guy, but he had just again, tremendous proportions, small waist. I think he was one of the best middleweights
Yeah.
ever.
This
I
is
think he won the Nationals. I'm pretty sure when he turned pro at the Nationals.
really
It was either the Nationals or the USA. I don't remember which one. That's going
this
back a while.
this is one of my favorite bodybuilders ever. Ed
Ed
Corney.
Corney, another underrated guy.
His posing.
His posing was absolutely beautiful. He was one of the most artistic posers.
Yeah.
You even remember for people who saw the movie Pumping Iron, which I've seen
Yeah.
about 100 times, that
Yeah.
Arnold in the audience was looking at him
Yeah.
pose and was saying how beautiful his posing is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he competed up to a late age. He was over 50, right?
Let me
He
check
did some masters stuff.
Ed Corney posing. Let's see what there is.
If yeah, posing because he was very artistic.
Let's get that one of pumping iron. Maybe we can get it up. I think
He
this
was
is
definitely one of the earliest, most artistic posers. Every shot was like special. Like he everything he had a twist on almost every pose.
here to play, I think. There you go.
There you go. See the way he transitions
Yeah.
Watch the way he transitions from
Look at
look at
that.
that. Look at the way he transitions from pose to pose. Look at those biceps.
Yeah.
That's where Arnold is telling Robbie
That's
his is
posing.
amazing.
Look at that.
Every pose in between the poses,
Yeah.
the transition from pose to pose,
Yeah.
everything.
And the
It's
way he shows his abs, I mean, I know it by heart. Look at that.
that right there, he was classic. That is what he calls pose. Right there, he said, "That's what I call
Yeah.
posing."
Yeah.
And
Amazing.
that is amazing. That was Ed Corney was a legend in
Yeah. I
that
don't know
area.
if he keeps going. Yeah, that's it. That was he was amazing, huh? Next stop, images.
Who else did I throw on there? I know when I put that list together, I was late and I was
Serge
late. Oh,
Nove.
Surge. Yeah, now people are going to criticize him for his legs, which I understand because he never had legs, but
Well,
his
I
upper
don't
body
know. I don't know
best.
about it. You know.
He didn't have very big legs, but they were cut, but his upper body was one of the most amazingly put together upper bodies ever.
Yeah. I
His
mean,
abs,
his chest never ended, huh?
his chest was massive. Well, he's out massing. He's bigger than Arnold there in the chest.
Look at this. Look at that.
Look at that. I mean, look at this, the chest, the bicep, the delt. And he was always in really amazing condition,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
splintered,
Yeah.
uh, defined, separated on stage. Look at that shot on the bottom, right below
And
that one.
little kids. Look at
Look
that.
at the shot right below that one. Well,
This
that
one,
kind of
hey,
look at that. Is that real?
that's him.
That's nuts.
I think that's him. Yeah. I don't think
And I
that's.
think that if I remember correctly, Serge, he would do like 8 hour workouts.
Yeah. Yeah. He was.
He just sat after he would go in the gym. He'd be in there for like it was his work day,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he wouldn't lift heavy weights. He would just pump, 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 pump.
I think his legs maybe started to fall behind when he got older, because look at him. They're not that bad, huh?
His legs look good there. His legs look good there.
Look at that.
Just a beautiful. Look at the Look at the arm in the back, not the one in the front, but look at the
Yeah.
tricep there. Look
Right?
at the fullness of
Yeah.
that tricep. His back was beautiful. His abs were some of the best ever.
Yeah.
I mean, they were a little bit weird in shape, but like in terms of his waistline,
And when
and
he used to breathe, they used to all like,
they never disappeared. That's the thing with
no,
him. Is that even
they
if he
used
was
to,
if he
not
wasn't
all at the
posing, they
same
were
time.
still
They used to come out. There's
they
a
were
shot.
always.
Yeah. There's a shot of him.
I remember that he was in Pumping Iron too. He
Yeah.
placed second
Yeah.
to Arnold, and then Lou was third. And
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's a fantastic bodybuilder.
he was was he French?
Yeah.
He was a French guy, yeah.
And the way he passed away was quite mysterious. I remember there was some controversy. I don't know what happened, but it was like, I don't know, something all of a sudden, or
Look at
you
that
know,
shot. Look at the width.
yeah.
Look at
No,
those abs.
he wasn't small. He wasn't small.
He had some physique on. Well, that's back in the 70s, and that guy was amazing.
This name I recognize, but I can't put a face to it. Let me get him
Oh,
up.
I got one you're not sure about,
No, you
huh?
got two. Yeah, two. Yeah, that guy, that short guy in the beginning.
Yeah, who else?
This guy. But now I'm recognizing him.
Oh, Edgar Fletcher. He
Edgar,
never
now I'm
turned
recognizing.
pro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
never turned pro, but he was
Wow.
pro level.
Look at the type of physiques there was back then, huh? And
Yeah,
they,
and this harkens back to what Lee Haney was talking about, what a lot of guys are talking about, Milos and
yeah,
Flex Wheeler and everything, that, they prefer the smaller waistlines and the more V-tapered and
yeah,
type physiques. But Edgar Fletcher was always, you know what? I'd be interested to look at his contest history because
yeah.
I think he
Well,
was
yeah,
always top three or
yeah.
five.
Look at this. I've been trying for an IFBB Pro card since 1990. I've been close several times, but close doesn't hack it.
Yeah.
So, and then today, because they compete twice and they don't get their pro card, it's like, how come? Why? There's, it's politics, you know?
Well, back then he had, the lineups were insane.
Yeah.
Look at
So
that.
Pennsylvania, you can see it.
Yeah, I see it. Second
Yeah.
place light heavy.
Yeah. Second place
Second place
nationals.
heavy. Then he
third,
dropped out for
third,
some reason. Be third, third,
fourth,
fourth, third,
third,
third, and
15th.
then he dropped off. But look
Look,
at all those times he was close.
yeah, if it was the rules of today, he would have became pro on his second try at the
Yep.
Nationals. He would have came second and he would have got a
Yeah.
pro card.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
But he
overalls, yeah,
he truly had a pro level. He was one of those guys that would have done good on a pro stage. He was,
of course.
but the competition back then was just
Yeah,
everybody in the top six could have were top pro. It was like Matt Mendenhall, pro physique, who just never turned pro.
yeah, that's crazy, you know. That's crazy.
We got anybody else, or we want to move
That's
on to
one
oh,
on
one more? All right, let's hit
yeah,
one
this
more.
guy, see if you he always said that he was natural.
Paul Jean, I believe he was.
Yeah.
He only weighed about 175 pounds on stage. To me, one of my favorite physiques of all time. But
He's that
I'm like a more of a symmetry proportion, small waist. But yes, he claimed to be natural. He also said that anybody at any time, he
can
will take a
test it.
drug test on any day, and
Yeah,
if he fails, he'll pay that person $10,000. That was his thing.
yeah,
And he said, if you see, he goes, I don't gain any weight. He goes, I've been competing at the same weight
yeah.
for all these years. So I think I do believe he's just a genetic freak.
No, he's incredible. He had
But
an
he,
incredible physique. There it is. He said it in a different language. There you go. You
yeah,
know, now it's in a different language.
but I
Probably.
mean, anybody, he's got the kind of physique that except for people who just love freaks, any person getting into bodybuilding would love to have.
Yeah.
Like anybody would want to walk on the beach
Well,
looking
looking
like
like
him.
that, of
You know what I'm
course.
saying? That because the physique is beautiful. It's not grotesque in any way. He was also a fantastic poser, and he was strong everywhere, even in his. And he was very. I think that if I remember correctly, he used to squat over 700 pounds in his workouts as a natural, only weighing 170 something pounds. Like he was a freak in strength.
Yeah. I have
But
one guy for you that's underrated.
oh, give me one. All right, surprise me. Oh, Danny. I almost put Danny on the list. I was going to put Danny on the list, actually. Danny was underrated.
Look at that.
He had a fantastic. He was a short guy. Was he like
I
5'2",
think he was one. Look at the cuts there. I think
but
he
he
was
had
one
a
of
fantastic physique.
I think he was one of the best,
One of the best short guys of all time, no doubt.
look at that.
Look at that back. Great back.
Look at that.
Great calves. Look at those calves. The tremendous splits in the thighs. Tiny little waist. Great arms.
Look at the face.
He was sucked in.
That
You
face.
could tell he dieted for that. That's a guy who was eating probably meat and no carbs.
Yeah. Wow, wow.
And then I remember that he retired, but then he made a comeback a little bit later and he
He,
looked even better.
yeah, then he went to the
Yeah,
WBF
well,
as well.
yeah. But then he came back. I forgot what year it was. I saw him
That,
live at the Night of Champions, and I was like, "Wow, look at Danny,
yeah, look at that.
tremendous
Unbelievable.
physique,
Unbelievable.
tremendous physique." You don't hear a lot of. He doesn't get included. Look at him next to Franco, the year Franco won.
Oh, that he should have won that Olympia.
I'm sorry, but Danny had Franco there.
I don't care what anybody says. Franco came in with no legs. Look at him, practically no arms.
No,
He
Danny
had
was the best
gyno.
bodybuilder on that day.
I love Franco, but that competition, he shouldn't have been there. He had that
No,
injury from the strongman. He had one leg smaller than the other.
yeah, but look,
Um,
yeah, Danny just beats him. He just beats him.
I know if we get into this on there, I mean, it was either him or Tom Platt should have took it. But if you wanted to look on balance, Danny should
You
have.
look at that shot right there. If you look at that side tricep, that's
Look at
Danny.
this. He's trying to show his leg. There's nothing. And
It
he's
looks
just
like Danny's
looking at
looking at
him.
his leg going, nah, you don't got nothing.
Yeah. And then he ends up, I don't know what place he came in. It's a shame. It's a shame.
Look at the side tricep on Danny, right? Look at the tricep.
Yeah. No, no,
Look at how thick it is.
and he was even, I don't know what happened to him at the pumping iron, the 1975 thing. He was representing, I don't know, USA, and there was something about Portugal because it was a team thing, and he got, screwed basically.
Oh,
I would have to ask, I have to check about it again, but unbelievable. He was a beast, huh?
no, Danny was definitely a giant killer. He was
Yeah. Who else
a
was there?
fantastic bodybuilder. Oh, you want to try to think about somebody? You like this topic? Go ahead.
No, there's so many underrated bodybuilders. It's
Porter
never,
Cottrell was underrated. Even he
yeah,
was fantastic.
never ending, never
You can
ending.
go. There's a lot of people who I think were not quite given the credit that they deserve, or they're not talked about enough.
I mean, there's so many guys that are they're always like, um, I mean, Milos, all right, he competed what 78 times,
But Milos
but
was appreciated. I think Milos. I don't want to call him underrated because Milos was appreciated. Like
he was appreciated. But
he
let me
got
just
his people loved his physique and they talked about him a lot. He was
they talked about him a lot, but if you had, I don't know if this is touched up. No, it's not touched up. Wait, this. If you had this physique, shit, it's small.
a small one. How about that
Uh,
black and white? That black and white that was
this
right under
one,
that.
his
Just
famous
standing
pose.
there. Just standing there. Like, flex but not in a pose. And
Look at that.
that's that I mean, who wouldn't want to walk around looking like that?
He, I think, he either he came too early or a bit too late, you know, at the wrong time. Because a physique like that, in that condition, and his posing, he should have won much more than one show.
He was in such a tough era.
Yeah, I know, I know,
He was
I
in
know.
such a tough era. Um, Definitely I would say probably maybe top it has to be top five best abs of all time.
And look at his
His
legs.
his ab shots were incredible. His legs were never really talked about that much, but his legs were absolutely
That's a
outstanding.
drawing. Yeah, yeah. Look at that. I don't know. I'm not saying Mike Mills is underrated. He was appreciated. He got fantastic, always in the top five, top six, look at that. Perfection, you know.
I mean, he had some weaknesses. He was great at hiding them.
Yeah, I mean,
His arms were certainly needed more size. His back needed more size, but he had a way of displaying his physique
look at that.
that was when he came in a little bigger because I know he experimented a lot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He
He
lost,
was he would try to come in bigger. He'd try to
he
come in
lost.
more ripped.
And this was probably a European tour, and they fade off a bit near the end, So
But no question, he's
yeah,
a very
yeah.
just his physique. He had some there was something special, and I think it was mostly in his presentation because he had certain poses that he would hit that nobody could touch.
No, no, of course. And
Okay.
but anyways. So I mean, if anybody else has a bodybuilder that they would like us to discuss, they can always send us an email
Yeah, I
or
think it's a
send
good
us,
topic. I
yeah,
think it's a good topic.
yeah, we can, it doesn't have to be just one show. Um, and I have to make sure that Eric sees what I'm seeing. And
Yes.
it wasn't even on the screen. We have people
Well, that's
looking
why I
at
was
me.
wondering. I'm going, there's no
Yeah,
pictures of Aaron Baker?
yeah, but people are looking at me saying, "Oh, look at his back, look at that," and there's nothing showing up for the viewers.
I was just trying to mention his good body parts, but I didn't see any pictures.
Yeah, bloopers.
That's
So
all right.
then next up we have an interesting subject. Uh, should the Olympia always be in the USA or move to other countries like it used to be?
Like it used to be. Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I'm almost like, I mean, what's your opinion on that? Like, what do you think about that?
Listen,
Because
living in
you're in
Europe,
Europe. I mean, you live in a different country. So
living in Europe, I mean, looking at the old videos when it was in Italy, in Finland, I think it was
Sweden,
Sweden or Finland. It was when Dorian won. I think the first one was it. I can't
Sweden.
remember.
That was Sweden,
Yeah,
92.
Germany or wherever. The world's changing. Um, I think maybe let's say Jake Wood because he's the owner. Um, he wants to keep it in America because it's like a comfort zone. They have control over it. When
Yeah.
you go to other countries, it's like you have to get other people involved that know the rules, they know the laws, they know how people work, the ins and outs, taxes, you know, money.
It's definitely more complicated, for
It's
sure.
more complicated, but you would get guys like Hadi Chupan and other guys that won't have problems going to the show. And it would be a true world championship for the pro league because you're literally going to other countries, you know. Listen, for that year, it doesn't have to be so grand. because I think one of the things holding them back is the expo, and all these things. For that year, for the Olympia to go abroad, all right, they'll have an expo. Why not? I'm going to say something stupid. Include it at the FIBO. Can you imagine that?
Mm.
The
Yeah.
FIBO's like
FIBO is huge.
4 days long, right? You have all the vendors there, all of them. You have almost all the pros go there, even the retired pros, because they have to represent their companies and things like that, right? And the people they work for. And then you have the Olympia on the Sunday. I'm saying something way or on,
Right. Yeah, I know, but you're just
but
suggesting.
to have it with an expo, it has to be really big. Or they do it in another country, and it's like that year the expo, but they make money from the expo. Jake Wood makes money from the expo. So it's a bit of a it's like back then when Wayne used to take all the bodybuilders and you saw Charles when he did the European tours on the
Yeah.
his history. There was
Yeah.
those 3 years they went to every country, and that wasn't over a year. That was over 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah. It was like every weekend there was one or two shows.
Yeah. So back then it was a bit easier. The emphasis wasn't so much on the staging. It was like a black background and no sponsors everywhere, just a small, it was like just get us a room and let us compete.
Yeah.
Today there's more stuff. I'm not saying in Europe or other countries, I mean Saudi Arabia, Dubai, they can make amazing shows, huh?
Yeah. I can imagine what some countries would probably
I
put
mean,
into it.
there's the Siberian power show with Rafael's side. There's a pro and amateur show. Their staging is like similar to the Olympia. It's so amazing. Listen, bodybuilding is loved in Europe. All right. So like
That's the thing. That's my point is that I
when
think bodybuilding is appreciated in Europe even more than it's
yeah,
appreciated in the
I
United States
mean
in terms
like
of
if
fans.
there's a line, if there's Kevin Shawn or Ronnie Coleman or whoever at an expo or something in Europe, the line will be never ending. They're superstars. Yeah.
Superstars, like
Yeah.
celebrities, like real
Yeah,
celebrities.
they are superstars here. And then if you go to the Arabic countries or Dubai, even more, because those guys, like, not saying they're not involved in every kind of sport, but bodybuilding is like one of the top sports for them, you know? Um, so I think they should do Olympia abroad.
Yeah, like maybe not change countries every year, but maybe like every 5 years or
5 years,
something.
it might, obviously it's cut down a bit, but if I mean, I don't know what the majority of athletes where they're coming from, but now men's physique, bodybuilding and stuff like that, a lot of guys are coming from Europe, and uh, so it's like all the Europeans go to the States. They probably say, why don't they come here sometimes so we do an event? I mean, they have to see what money he would make.
Yeah.
He'd probably
I mean,
make
I
more money.
listen, I understand it from a business standpoint, of course, and I understand the control part and this and that. I just think that it it's kind of sad because I know too, and you like you just said, European and other countries, we're spoiled in the United States with bodybuilding, and then even though there's huge fans here, but it's not like in other countries. Like
No,
if Ronnie Coleman got off of a plane or whatever, whoever, let's say today's guy, um, Derek got off a
yeah,
plane in
yeah,
another country, there'd be people at the airport waiting for him,
of course.
like a superstar. That would never happen here in the United States. So I mean. I kind of feel like it sucks for the people in other countries who can't maybe get that firsthand experience unless
No,
they travel to the
yeah.
Olympia.
I mean, and listen, it's not unless you have a super sponsor, it's not cheap going to Vegas to watch the Olympia. It
No,
costs it
of
costs you
course
an
not.
arm and a leg,
Yeah.
to get the hotel, to get the tickets, unless you get a press pass.
Yeah.
Uh,
Usually people make a vacation of it. They try to make a vacation of it if they're
yeah,
going to come to Vegas,
but
which is
as I
probably the best
said,
approach.
it's not cheap.
It's not cheap.
Like people used to tell me sometimes, oh, you just get on a plane and come, because it's not that easy. It's not. There's so many contests in Europe, we're spoiled as well.
What did you think about I know. I'm just throwing out a stupid idea. What would you think about they have the Olympia and they have something called the Olympia European or Olympia abroad or something like that, and have a second Olympia that would be held and that something like that? Or do you think that would diminish the Olympia
Once,
title?
once I think something was brewing about that, and I'm just gonna say it. And I had wrote a story about it on my website when
Really?
I
I never, this like just popped up into my head,
yeah
so I
no,
don't even know.
and there a guy made a logo or something, Olympia Europe or something like that. And the minute I published it, something was brewing for sure.
Oh, okay.
The
So what's
minute
his
I
thought about
published it, I got a message from Robin Chang.
it?
Remove that story, that logo's illegal, blah, 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 blah. But somebody had sent me and told me I don't know if it was somebody trying to break off or something back then. Um, but, you know, but the thing is, before the split in 2018, after the Olympia, maybe a week later or 2 weeks, let's say 2 weeks, there would be the Arnold Europe. So 90% of the bodybuilders would come to Europe, you know. So they would compete in Barcelona. So like in Europe, we had all the pros there and they were still in top shape. Some are even look better after a week eating something extra or, after the Olympia.
Yeah.
And we were spoiled for these things, We had the pros were coming. The pros are still coming to Europe now, but they're spread apart. Back then,
You get one or two, you don't
yeah,
get
the Arnold
two.
Europe, they were all there to win the Arnold Europe title. Um, I was lucky to watch the last two. Um, Dexter won the second last one, and Big Ramy won the last one. And then there was the split. And then Michael Crizio dominated for 3 years with the other pro league, with the Elite Pro. Now they call it IBB Pro. So he dominated, and then he switched over to the MPC. So that was from uh, 2018 onwards. But I would like to see the Olympia here, but I think there's so much
Complicated.
logistic
It's
problems,
complicated.
and probably internally, it's not just as easy as Dan saying, let's go to Europe. There are probably other people saying, no, let's stay here because of this, let's stay here because of that.
It would just be interesting. I mean, like maybe, like I said, and they probably will never do it, but I'm just saying, it'd be interesting if like maybe every 5 years or that
Yeah,
they went to it,
yeah,
that they coordinated it for over five, so it took some, they
yeah,
had time to do it. And
yeah.
like somebody like, like you said, could you imagine what they would do in Dubai?
I
Like,
think
it'd be
I think
insane.
they would sell a lot of tickets. You
I think it
know,
would be huge. And I think that a lot of people from America would also go over there to see it.
yeah, yeah.
So just,
Now,
just a thought.
you have to say this as well. Some people, I don't know the laws, but if an American has a certain small criminal record or stuff like that, sometimes they can't even travel to other countries as well.
Well,
So
that's okay.
it
Well,
goes
that's
both.
about
It
the
goes
same
both
way it goes
ways.
both ways.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Hadi can't go there because of politics, or Behruz, or other people. I mean, can you imagine this year? Because there is a chance that Hadi, Behruz Tabani, and even Rubel, because Rubel has to apply as well from Colombia to come
They might have
to.
trouble. They might have trouble.
Those three might have trouble.
Yeah, and that's
That's a big blow.
right. Yeah, and there's at least putting well, Rubio is I don't think he's placing anything near the top, but
But he
he's a
would
freak, so
be,
he'd be a fan favorite. But you have two guys, Hadi, who's a sure top five,
yeah,
and you have Beirut, who's a potential
yeah,
potential top five,
yeah,
not even showing up. So that's kind of that's sad for them. That's
yeah.
sad for the
So,
fans, sad for them.
yeah. So
But we'll have to
it's
see what
like,
happens.
they'll say, "Oh, I won," or "I placed second," but then people will tell you, "But Hadi wasn't there, or
Yeah,
Behruz wasn't
correct.
there. So were you, all right? It's who's there on the day." But unfortunately, not everybody's there. That's the thing. That
That's why the really the true champions, the true hardcore champion guys say I hope everybody's there and I
That's
hope
right.
everybody's in shape.
That's
And that's
right.
what those guys will say. They say, I don't want to free ride. I want to beat the best,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. And I'm sure like somebody like Nick Walker would think that way. He's like, I wouldn't want to win or come in second or whatever because some of the
Exactly.
guys aren't there. I want to beat everybody, you know.
Exactly. They want to they want to compete against the best of the best, you
Yeah.
know. And like I said, if they had to come to Europe uh, or any other part in the world, I think it would be something special, you know. I think it will get going on to the next thing. Why is bodybuilding just about the only sport not being televised? I think if it
Oh,
had to come to Europe, it will get television exposure. I mean, the last few Olympias when Jay Cutler was winning, and I think Ronnie Coleman, they used to do it on an Italian station on the Italian Prime Minister back then, Berlusconi owns oh, he's passed away now, but the media empire is still there. They used to do it on Italiano, they call it. It used to be on late at night, and they used to put on the men's bodybuilding show, you know, prejudging in the finals.
yeah.
So, you know, it was very popular. Why isn't bodybuilding televised? Many things, I think, you know.
Because it for a while it used to be. I
It
remember there
was.
was even bodybuilding on Wide World of Sports, which was a big
I
sports thing.
I used to watch world championships on the worldwide sports when I was really young.
Right. And then there was a time where some of the Arnold Classics were like on NBC or like some of the stations here. And then even, and I'm not even necessarily saying the big stations, like it used to be on ESPN. They used to
Yeah.
have shows or they would have shows about bodybuilding back then, which I loved. But now it's all gone. And I wonder why, because you know, is it just because there's just not enough mass appeal? Is it because of the steroid thing? Because everybody has any knowledge of anything these days knows that any football team they're watching on TV or any baseball, all these guys are on something.
Could it
Yeah.
be airtime is expensive, or but there's not the how do you say the commercial the big sponsors like Nike, whatever, different
Well, that's why I
companies.
would think maybe something back on like a sports station on an ESPN, something like that, where even supplement companies would be something that would even be good for other sports, because obviously every sport type
Of
uses
course,
protein and aminos and this and that. So
of course.
like I'm surprised it still
Yeah.
wouldn't even be on a station like
Like,
that.
could it be the nightmare of the 1980 Olympia when it was supposed to be on television, and then they pulled the plug at the end?
But why did they pull the plug? Do you know?
The result, I think it was so
Oh,
evident
oh no, yeah.
when Arnold
I don't
won.
know. I just this is not a topic that we can go in for because we'd be speculating.
Yes, yes,
But I
but
just think that it'd be interesting to hear from other people,
I
or
think
maybe
it was
even
one of the I think it was one of the reasons, huh? Because they thought it was just too
controversial
far-fetched.
fixed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that could be, but I
And
still
they
don't
never,
understand why it made it onto ESPN. It was gosh, what was the name of the show that was on? It was like a bodybuilding magazine.
the one with Sean Ray, everybody with the tight spandex training, you know, they're
Yeah,
all
yeah,
training.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then there was also like Lee Haney had a show,
Yeah,
his own workout show. Corey Everson had a show. There was a lot of,
yeah.
different like bodybuilding related
Ron
shows.
Harris used to start it off with those shows because I
Yeah.
interviewed him and that's where he got his break, you know, doing those shows.
Yeah. And
Um,
now there's none of it. I mean, it's kind of disappointing
I
because
think I think
it's a huge,
bodybuilding's
I mean, it's a huge sport.
I think bodybuilding's been tarnished and had mud thrown at it so much it remained a small niche, you know.
Yeah.
And
Well, obviously, but it's
but I
amazing. You
think
think about some of the sports, these ridiculous esoteric sports you'll see on ESPN, like
yeah,
mudslinging, weird things I don't even
yeah,
never even heard of
the
that will be
slapping
on it.
thing, the slapping
Yeah,
thing.
slap boxing is bigger than bodybuilding on come on now. I'm sorry. I'm
Can
not
you
anything against
imagine?
those guys,
Yeah,
whatever, that's their thing,
yeah,
but like bodybuilding's been around forever.
yeah. Can you imagine Arnold or Dwayne Johnson? We know he loves bodybuilding, The Rock, right?
Yeah,
His ex-wife is an IFBB pro as well.
right.
Uh, his partner, his business partner is his
Oh,
ex-wife.
right. Right.
She's an IBB pro. Um, so imagine they're involved. Imagine the promotion. You have Nick Walker, Rubel, photos with them, footage, promo. And I think, they should just try a test on a Saturday evening or before a baseball game or something, just to see how it goes, And I think people that want to see, freaks or classic physique or something like that, I
Well, but
think,
and that's a thing. That's a thing, Kevin, because now there's so many more classes. There's
yeah,
something for everybody. So you can
exactly.
include some stuff on the girls who would want to look like a bikini girl,
Yeah,
the girls who might want to be a little bit more muscular. Then you
yeah.
also have men's physique and classic. So there's also the mainstream aspect there, also all the way up to the freaks. So I think it would be a little bit. I think it could be successful.
I think if they try, I think something can go right. I mean, the pay-per-view of the Mr. Olympia, instead of doing it with the internet, try doing it on a major television station. I'm not saying Netflix, but I don't know. Something, so you get a more of a bigger audience.
Yeah.
For example, uh, I mean, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, if you remember a couple of years ago, he was going to have his competition.
Yeah.
Remember?
I remember when he was going to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. And all right, COVID set in and all that stuff, but it fizzled out. Well, I mean, he couldn't get sponsors. I mean, this is The Rock trying to do it. I mean, Dwayne Johnson was always, I heard allegedly he was even trying to buy the Olympia at one point, you know.
I had heard
Um,
that too.
Even Patrick Bet David, that guy that does all those podcasts.
He
That
wanted to
time,
buy it, but he didn't see the profit in it.
that time when he was doing all those bodybuilding interviews, he was,
Yep.
adding up,
He loves bodybuilding. He loves the sport.
but for him, if something doesn't make money, forget about it, move
He's
on.
yeah, he looks at everything from a
Yeah.
complete business
So,
aspect, and he
so,
knows Jake is not making a lot of money from it.
yeah. So, I mean, like, for even The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, to fail and not make that world championship thing, NPC world championship competition that he had, something happened, something's there. Something's not clicking right. It's either this thing with like you said, the steroids, that bodybuilding is, you know, looks bad because of that. I mean, when Vince McMahon tried to get the WBF going, he failed as well, because
Well, it's hard to go again. I mean, he failed because going against the NPC and the IFBB is a very difficult thing to do.
but I heard as well, even that some background stories that it's not like wrestling, everybody's ready. Whenever you want, they're there.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
not a
different.
physique thing. When it's bodybuilding, I don't think he calculated that bodybuilders go into an off season, so they're not always in peak form.
Yeah,
So he had to work around them, and
yeah.
plus
I
all
don't
the
think. I
all
don't
the
think. I
characters.
think he tried to take the complete model from wrestling and
Yeah,
bring it to
and I
bodybuilding, which
think
wasn't going to work. Destined to fail.
he had then the steroid thing, the controversy came out with
Right.
Hulk Hogan and all that. But I think he noticed that he couldn't have control over all these guys. So having something like that not work with the most powerful people on television or in like sports entertainment, who else can make it work? I mean,
Well, you know what? I'm just, even if they didn't hold competitions, because competitions can be boring for the general. I
no,
mean,
they
listen,
edit it down. They show the best parts.
right, right. But even some people just, don't find it. But I think that a muscle magazine type of a show showing people training, eating,
Yeah.
lifestyle, this and that, I think that would find an audience because I think that um, would also just draw the attention of people who want to get in great shape, who want a healthier lifestyle, not just bodybuilders. I think that it would draw the attention of all fitness enthusiasts.
Do you
So,
think do you think you even social media, YouTube and stuff like that is making a difference? Everybody can just go on YouTube and watch what they want. Do
could
you
be.
think that could it be
That
that?
could be, but I think that if you took instead of if somebody really good took control of a show and found different people and to put on the same show and edited it correctly and had cool shooting and
Yeah.
did different things, Jim. I think that having like a little magazine show of like different people, you have a girl like in bikini, you have a girl in wellness, and then you have a physique guy and they have a bodybuilder, and and also talk about some of the news that we talk about. I think you'd have a viable show. Maybe it wouldn't be the most massive show on there, but I think it would be something. I
I
mean,
think I think the money is there. People in the industry have money. And I think if four or five guys, got into a room and decided they can invest in something and maybe make a production company for this, I think it can be successful. And this thing of the steroids thing, they should just forget about it because if you get any other sport, I mean,
that's what I said.
even
Everybody
chess
assumes
players
everything.
and test them, they'll find something in them.
And I think that people have become a little bit more aware of that these days. I think it used
Yeah,
to just be because
yeah.
bodybuilders wear it on their sleeve. I mean, you walk around, you look at a bodybuilder, you go steroids. You look at a baseball player, you don't look and say steroids, or a tennis player, you don't say steroids. But I think that it's kind of gotten
Yeah,
people have gotten more savvy and they understand more that all elite athletes, or 99.9% of them,
yeah.
are taking some type of pharmaceutical enhancements to make them as good as they
No,
are.
but
So
I always tell people when they tell me, obviously, they say, "Oh, you like bodybuilding? Oh, it's all this or it's that, it's steroids, blah blah blah." I tell them, get this stuff, take it, train a little bit, and tell me how you look.
right.
And
See, it's that
and
easy.
try eating the amount of food that they eat every day, every year, all the
They
time.
have. They have. I had this discussion with somebody in a
You
gym
know?
yesterday. We were talking about it, and he was telling me this guy came up to me and he says, "Are you getting ready to compete for anything?" And I said, "Oh, well, I've had some thoughts of doing the Masters USA." He's like, "Man, you should do it." He's like, "You are stacked. You are huge." And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." And he wanted to know what I took, not in an insulting way. He was
Oh yeah,
curious, and I said, "Dude," I said, I competed looking like I pretty much am now. I never took anything. Creatine was probably the most hardcore thing I took.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, I built my body with no PEDs.
yeah,
And I said, now the only thing I do is TRT, which is really more for my health than
yeah,
anything else. Not super physiological, crazy amounts, something to just keep me normal,
yeah,
semi-normal. And I said, I still get bigger. And he was just, he believed me in talking to me because, I had a conversation with
yeah,
him about it. But everybody just makes that assumption
yeah,
that we
yeah.
build up. It's not. It's the
No,
training, the food, and the diet, the
genetics.
consistency. If
Yeah,
you know how to do it, and so yeah, just to throw that point out there, it's there's a lot more to it than just taking pills
yeah.
or injections.
It's true.
That's for
And
sure.
that's why I don't think that should, I mean, if you watch wrestling today, you know, a lot of those guys are not eating eggs and chicken only, to get to that size,
Of course, it's in every elite sport.
I mean,
There's
so
even chemists out there we've known for years that make tweaks to the molecules so it can't be
yeah,
detected on tests.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
how much. I mean, face it. It
So,
just is
so,
what it is.
I mean, why it's not on television,
We don't,
it goes down to money.
it's got to be a
I,
money thing. Obviously, I just
you
think that
know,
maybe it could be something that maybe could make some money in the atmosphere that we have now. And
of
there's
course, I
some
mean,
you get companies like Gasp or Redcon
yeah,
or
you're telling me
some of
those
the
guys
big
don't.
major companies that have some money,
Yeah, they don't
a
have
little bit of
money
money.
to subsidize a show or something. They'll get the sponsorship. They can put their ads anywhere. They pump the money into the show and I'm sure some of these guys have connections with, major television stations, to
Yeah.
discuss it, you
And you
know.
get somebody, talented who's really good at filming and editing and, the right music. I think you'd have something there that would be kind of cool, not just watching them do bicep curls for 20 minutes, but like,
Yeah,
cutting and showing different things and showing them
yeah,
shopping or this and that and some of the harder times, whatever, make
yeah.
it
Yeah.
interesting.
I mean, unfortunately, like on Netflix, if they have something related to bodybuilding, it's negative. I mean,
Yeah, it's
video,
always about something.
the
Yeah.
last series they had was about that female bodybuilder that killed her boyfriend.
Oh, Ray McNeil.
Yeah. So that
So
was a hit, all right? When Arnold had his show on, it was in those three parts, bodybuilder, actor, politician. I guess you watched it. That what's it called,
Yeah,
Arnold or
yeah.
whatever. That did very well. So
But that's
why not
Arnold.
put something up with bodybuilding? Maybe Arnold does an intro, you know, Lou Ferrigno. You get the
Yeah.
old timers that people love, and
They did one with Ronnie. They had Ronnie on there.
yeah, his documentary
Yeah, that was really
about
good.
it was more about his struggles, I guess, with like afterwards.
But there was a lot of bodybuilders talking about,
Yeah,
I
Kevin
was the
and all these
GOAT,
guys. Yeah, yeah,
you know.
yeah. But when it's a human story, it sells. Bodybuilding sells when it's a human story.
But
But
that's the thing. Make it somebody like on Netflix. I think that if you took it and you also use the human side of it, like what Nick went through, like when, like when he pulled out of the Olympia,
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah,
as an example,
yeah,
or what Victor went through when he was having trouble with immigration and stuff, and then what all these people go through, not just the training and dining and this and that,
yeah,
but also the story of it to show them through it all, the adversity that
yeah.
they still got. I think people would watch it. I think people would be
I
interested.
I I think it's about time that bodybuilding gets the exposure it needs. And then from then on, major competitions will be more profitable because more people will go to watch them. Prize money goes up. Or like it doesn't have to be the Olympia. The Arnold Classic, why isn't it with all his connections? Why isn't it on television? I mean, with Brian Powers with all his, Comic Con background and entertainment and things like that. You have Arnold, he's mega superstar still. He has all the connections that you need. Why can't they put the Arnold on television?
I don't know. I mean, again, I mean, I don't know
Pay-per-view.
if everything comes to money. I don't know if
Or
it's interesting,
with if not pay-per-view, they give out the free feed like they did with the Arnold, the free stream, and they put it on a channel. And
Yeah.
and they get some good sponsors that I'm sure will pay top money to have their advert go across the bottom while everybody's competing.
I
Why
think that
not?
I think that'd be a great idea. And listen, we're just talking about it because we're fans of the sport. We want to see it, move to higher levels. And you
Yeah,
never know. Maybe something will happen. Maybe somebody will watch this and
yeah,
go, "That's a good idea."
yeah,
You
yeah.
never know.
You
But
never know. And
anyway, that's all we could really
next
say.
up is Merlin.
Wait, you know what happens when you say Merlin?
There he
He's
is. There he is.
he's gonna stay right there during
Yeah,
my answer of the
yeah.
question
My
because
question this week,
that's mini Merlin.
yeah. My question this week is about stretching. Some people
Okay.
say it's bad to do it before you work out. Some people say it's bad to do it after. Some say it's good to do it before or good to do it afterwards. What is the best
Strategy.
solution? Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll say this. I would never stretch before a workout. With the one caveat being if you have an injury somewhere and you really need to, if you have an injury that you're nursing and you have to do extra warm up for it and stretch it just to get you, that's a different thing. But pretend you have no injuries. It has been shown in many studies that if you stretch a cold muscle, number one, better chance it gets injured. Number two, it takes away from, let's just say, for instance, you're going to stretch your quads before a quad workout or chest or stretch your chest before a chest workout. It is detrimental to the workout. It will actually reduce your strength. So it is detrimental to muscle growth. So you do not want to stretch before a workout. Stretching after a workout, the body part that you just trained, very good idea. Because that'll help the muscle relax, it'll help it recover, help with blood flow, all good things. But the part of stretching that I really want to talk about that, even though it's kind of a little different from your question, is stretching that actually produces muscle growth. Because casual stretching, like if you just do quads and then you lay down and you just pull back on your foot a little bit and get a little stretch, that's fine. That's not what I'm talking about. But if you do one of two things, if you pay attention or emphasize the stretch, especially on movements that contain a large stretch, like say a dumbbell fly, uh, an old school sissy squat, a stiff leg deadlift, a seated cable row that has a good stretch component, one of the biggest things that I do with my clients is I emphasize the stretch. So on a lot of movements, I'll actually have them hold the stretch for 4 or 5 seconds each rep. When you hold a stretch under tension, that will tear it'll traumatize the muscle tissue. It'll also help you to release IGF-1, which is a very powerful hormone locally. So it can increase muscle growth. Stretch under tension is one of the most powerful methods. Those, and I would say eccentric or lowering the weight, eccentric emphasis, lowering the weight over 4 or 5 seconds. That and stretch under tension are two of the best ways to traumatize muscle tissue and to cause an anabolic reaction in the body.
So,
So,
so you're
go
saying
ahead.
like you're still stretching, but under tension and during the workout in a
Yeah,
controlled
I'm
manner.
correct. I'm going a little bit
Okay.
outside the what your question was. So
No,
your question
no.
is being basic, like if you're going to stretch, don't do it before. If you're going to basically stretch, stretch afterwards because that way you won't take away from your workout. But if you want to use stretch to grow, figured it's good to mention it here. Like for instance, I will, okay, so say I'm going to do a set of dumbbell flies. I'm going to go for 10 reps. I might hold the stretch on every single rep
Okay.
for 5 seconds. Every rep, 5 seconds, stretch under tension.
All right.
I might do it differently. I might do something like um, I'll go down in the first rep and I'll hold the first rep for 10 seconds, stretch, and then I'll do 4 more reps and then I'll hold the fifth rep, stretch for 10 seconds. Then I'll do 4 more reps until I get to the 10th rep and I'll hold the final one for 10 seconds. I might do it that way. I may do another thing. If I'm doing a set of flies, we'll keep using flies. Maybe I hit my 10th rep and I'm really at failure. I'll go down to the stretch position and I'll hold that final stretch for 30 seconds,
Uh,
something like that. Those things will traumatize muscle tissue, break them down, release IGF-1, and cause an anabolic reaction in the body. So that's where stretching is very, very valuable in terms of muscle growth. And you could also do it after you're done with the body part. You could just train the body part as you normally would, kill it, crush it, do the best you can, and then say, we're going to use the fly again. If you, at the end of the workout, do maybe a 60-second stretch in the fly position after the workout's over. So you have to kind of do hard stretching, almost painful stretching to get that muscle growth reaction, that anabolic reaction. So that's different than normal stretching. But I wanted to mention it because a lot of people don't know that and how valuable that could be in training.
I, I think an example that people can see, I mean, other than your videos that are all over YouTube on Jay Cutler's channel as well, they're still there. And as an example, Francis Benfato, if you go into some of his training videos, he's really, he stretches the muscle, everything's slow, negative reps, everything. He really stretches the muscle, and he's one of those bodybuilders that really takes his time to do the reps, and he makes sure the stretch is there and things like that. I find it like similar to what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, whether he understands why, he probably understands why he's doing it, or maybe it
Yeah.
just feels good. But even if you watch me train or anybody who trains with me, even if I'm not quote unquote emphasizing, like I might say, okay, I'm training this pro bodybuilder or one or client or whatever, and say, hey, we're going to hold the stretch on a close grip lat pull down for 5 seconds on each rep. But even if I don't say that, even if you watch me train, just naturally, I hold the stretch for at least 2 seconds on each rep. I always start off with that stretch because number one, I want a full range of motion, and number two, I want to make sure that the muscle is fully stretched and I'm getting that anabolic trigger from the stretch. So I will do that. And listen, a lot of people don't want to do that because it cuts down on the weight they can use.
Yeah.
They're doing flat dumbbell presses. They want to just bang them out with
Yeah.
120s or 150s, whatever it is. I will take weights that are 20 pounds less and I'll sit down there and I'll hold that stretch 3, 4 seconds and then
Yeah.
I'll press them up.
Yeah.
So I emphasize the stretch, I emphasize the negative, I emphasize the peak contraction if it's a peak contraction movement. And some movements I'll even emphasize the positive and take 4 or 5 seconds to do the positive. I don't want to get too off topic, but I'm just saying that these things are things that a lot of people don't do in training that hold them back from making gains because it's not all about just
Weight.
lifting heavy weights.
I think the thing of lifting less weights and more controlled and strict comes with experience and with age. I
Oh
think,
yeah, I think a lot of people, they want to reduce it. And yes, because the point is you reduce the potential for injury
yeah,
a lot.
and maturity as well.
Yeah.
Because you go to
And
the
I
gym,
should I
you,
should
you know,
okay,
like
Kevin.
the other day, the other once there's this guy doing deadlifts, and he was like lifting the weights, his back, you can see it, for going. And I looked at him, and I was like, it wasn't long ago, and I was like, do you know what you're doing? I mean, I mean, all right, you're lifting heavy and you want to get into powerlifting now and all this stuff, but I said, like, it's not now that I'm worried about. It's in the next 15, 20 years,
Sure. Of
It's going to catch up to you eventually. You
course
have
it
to
is.
be careful. You're lifting all these weights, the bar's bending, I mean, come on. I mean, just for 2 reps. I mean, those 2 reps are not going to do anything, you know.
I think that everybody should train slower
Yeah.
and emphasize these things much more, no matter what age you are.
Yeah.
But certainly, and why I think many of my clients are 40 and over, because they want to be able to keep training hard and keep making progress, but they get hurt or they have
Yeah.
injuries. And
Yeah.
so I teach them these methods because the muscle does not, I will say it, I've said it 100 times. The muscle has no idea how much weight is on the bar. The
Exactly.
muscle only knows tension. And I
Exactly.
can create tension with a 30-pound dumbbell, even though I can lift a 60-pound dumbbell, better with the lighter weight because I am
Exactly.
emphasizing these things such as the stretch, such as
Exactly.
the concentric, eccentric squeeze.
Exactly.
And I should point out one more thing because I wanted to say this before, but there's a famous study, and I wish I remembered how to point people to it, but there was a study that was done on birds to test the stretch emphasis on how it was with anabolism. And in the study, they actually hung a weight on a bird's wings so that the muscle was constantly under stretch. Now there was no contraction; it was
Okay.
just
Good.
stretched. And by the end of the study, they showed that the bird's wings had so much hypertrophy in them, so much muscle growth from just being stretched under tension,
Wow.
which is a very good, yes, it's a bird, but it just goes to show that muscle tissue, when it's stretched under tension like that, that is an anabolic trigger. And I
Wow.
could tell you one thing, if you're ever like, oh man, I don't get sore anymore, I wish I can get sore, try stretch under tension.
Yeah.
Try
Yeah.
do your dumbbell presses or your flies or
Yeah.
sissies,
Yeah.
whatever it is, or row, seated
Do it
cable rows.
strict. Yeah.
Hold that stretch for
Yeah.
5 seconds on it and really stretch, and
Yeah.
then pull down, get your contraction, go back. You will be sore the next day
I
because
mean,
that
going
is
a bit off subject, even when you're training, I mean, the way I see it, even if you're doing chest or something, you're really feeling it. All right. The minute your trainer or somebody tells you, try to feel it here, and he just touches you where you have to feel it, that's it. The guy he can't do with the weights that he's doing because he has no control of how he's gonna do the movements because he's just doing something just raw power, which is totally different.
I tell you, that's very interesting that you brought that up. And I'm just, we talked about sometimes you go off on a tangent
Yeah,
and
it's all
different.
right. I mean, it's,
So you said something right there about touching the muscle and how that. So I started experimenting a few years ago, and I'll say the most famous person that I did this with was two-time Miss Bikini Olympia Jen Dory, who was
okay. Yeah.
I was training her, and the only reason I'm not training her now is because she moved from Vegas to Florida.
Uh,
One of the best people in the sport. Love her and her husband Mark Anthony. Great people. Miss you, Jen, if you're watching this. So I said to her, I want to try something with you, but I want to ask you first because I'm going to be touching,
yeah.
touching. I'm respectful. I don't want to
Oh
just touch
yeah.
a body.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, whatever. So we were doing like a rear delt fly machine. So I said, before we start the exercise, I'm going to press in on your rear delts. I'm going to hold it. And then in between each rep, I'm going to push in each time for like the first 5 reps. And I said, tell me at the end of the set if you're able to connect with your rear delts better than
Yeah.
ever. And when she was done, she was like, oh my God. She's like, that is unbelievable. She's like,
Yeah.
I felt more pressure in the rear delts than I've ever felt in my life. The pump, the feeling. And it's interesting because I'd love to go into this in detail, but it's interesting. I feel that, and I do this with my training partners sometimes. I'll like if they're doing hamstring curls, I'll press in on the hamstring or where one. it seems to make some sort of mind muscle connection, some sort of brain nerve connection to the muscle that remains throughout the set. Because even
Wow.
if you press on something for 10 seconds and you let go, you could still feel it for a while. It's
Yeah.
kind of like if you look into the sunlight and then you look away and close your eyes,
Yeah.
you still
Yeah.
see it in
Yeah.
your eyes. So it
Yeah.
remains for a while. That creates a connection. And I feel that that's something that I've been doing a lot with my clients.
Yeah.
Uh, Very valuable also just to mention it here because you had mentioned it, but I know I'm going off on a tangent, but we could talk about that more another time. But it's a very interesting phenomenon. I think it's something that people should use.
Yeah. Because like, I mean, you do it. Sometimes, uh, I'll mention him again. You see Milos when he's training somebody, or you see him literally touching where they have to feel, especially
Because
the
he wants
back.
them to connect to it.
Yeah. And Charles Glass, he's all over the place when somebody's training. Uh, but especially the back, because some people say, "How can you feel the back?" But if you train properly, you can feel,
That's
and
a matter of your technique.
it's stretching, like it's a lot of stretching with the reps, negatives, bringing
Stretching,
pressure.
squeezing,
So
feeling, not just moving it.
you have to learn how to feel each muscle in the body. I mean, we went way off track from the stretching, but at least we know it's not good to stretch before the workout. It's not
Yeah,
recommended.
that's well, we could
Right.
talk about this stuff more in other episodes, definitely. But
Yeah.
yeah, just to make that point clear, don't
Yeah.
stretch unless you have an injury, but don't stretch a muscle before a workout. Stretch it after a workout if you're going to stretch. And if you want to use it as a growth technique, use it in the way that I mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah.
That should cover that topic.
You have any other?
I didn't get any really great questions this week,
Okay.
and we've
Okay.
been on for a while, so I don't want people to
Because sometimes the
get
thing is,
tired of us.
we ask a question and there's a lot of questions related to it, so we kill off, a lot of things that we can ask about.
People ask me about even what I was just talking about now. They've seen me do it in the gym and they've asked me about it.
Yeah.
Why do you do that? So in a sense, I was answering a question right there.
Yeah.
So
No, anyways, I'm sure it was informative and people can learn about it. I mean, like I said, you have a bunch of videos all over YouTube. If you write Eric Brozer,
all over
Merlin.
the Jay Cutler channel,
Yeah.
there's a playlist called
Yeah.
Be Built by Broser, hundreds of videos, and then also on the present channel,
Yeah.
full-time bodybuilding. There's a bunch of more videos, and then even on Muscle and Fitness, the Muscle and Fitness channel, Muscle and Fitness Plus. They have videos of me training people on there as well. So
There's
tons of
all
stuff you could look up.
all the information's there,
Yep.
So I guess do you want to bring up anything else, Eric, for this
Just want to
episode?
say thank you to my clothing sponsor,
There you
Gasp.
go.
I'm always wearing Gasp every
Yeah.
single day at the gym, everything. I love those guys.
Fantastic.
I've been with them for over 6 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing company, like a family. So,
Yeah.
oh, and if you want to go on the Gasp website, I think it's gaspofficial.com.
Yeah.
My code is Broser15. You get 15% off of your stuff. I
Yeah.
highly support that company. So
And
just
I noticed Gasp, um, the guys they stay up sign up are they've been around. They're really loyal with their athletes or trainers.
very loyal to their
Yeah.
athletes. They treat even their ambassadors, just people who are not even
Yeah.
their athletes, they're
Yeah.
ambassadors. They're always giving special offers to ambassadors.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like a family. They hold meetings all
Yeah.
the time for people to get together and discuss ideas. They're just a great company, and their clothing is amazing. It lasts forever. Like I have shirts from them from like 12 years ago before I was even with them
Yeah.
that I
Yeah.
still wear today. So their clothing is great,
Cool.
fits great. So check them out.
Cool. Maybe last week you heard us mention that we were supposed to have a guest, but unfortunately, things
Getting
came up
canceled.
and they couldn't come on the show. Uh, next week,
2 weeks,
2 weeks
maybe it's two
more,
weeks.
we're
We
supposed to
have
have a
somebody
real
special,
special
hopefully.
guest. Sorry?
Hopefully, we have somebody special for
Yeah,
you
we
in
have
two weeks.
supposed to have a really special guest. Hopefully nothing gets in the way. Like I said, you can't guarantee, people coming on because
Schedules,
so
things happen,
things
emergencies, this, that.
happen, scheduled, family.
But we're in talks with a lot of interesting
Yeah,
people, so they will
yeah,
come on. Like we had Lee Haney on, so if you haven't
yeah,
watched
that
that one,
was,
watch it.
we hit the top already.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to beat that.
Yeah, you hear people saying, "Oh, we wish," you hear popular podcasts saying have to try to get Lee Haney on, and we had him already. It's like, it's amazing, it's
We had him
still,
on like our sixth episode ever.
yeah, sixth episode. And I might start sharing more parts of that interview because he's talked about so many things
Oh, it was
about
gold. That interview was gold. He
uh,
was so open.
yeah, he was really relaxed in it. And like what I want to put out there, whoever I bring on the show, not saying that, you just go out and bash some whatever. It's just relaxed, three guys talking about the sport, they can be comfortable and just be honest of what they think about things. I'm not gonna challenge them or we might have our own
You
opinion.
could challenge them, but challenge them in a
Yeah.
respectful way.
Yeah, that's
That's my
right.
side.
Not, you know, it's just,
You can have disagreements. That's what it's about. It's about having disagreements and talking
exactly.
about it and listening to everybody's
Exactly.
viewpoints and and
Exactly.
and being open. That's what it's about.
Yeah. We should have a round table one day.
I would
Imagine
love to
this.
do that.
Imagine this. Bob and Milos talking about the posing rounds
Would you and I get any words in? I don't think so. We probably wouldn't even get to talk. We'd probably be like, all right, you guys go.
we'll just stay walking back in and out of the rooms and let them go at it.
I'll just put Merlin, mini Merlin on the screen and just leave it there as a placeholder.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
oh, let me just mention Kevin real quickly because we were talking about Lee Haney.
yeah.
Because of that interview, two of my clients who watched it didn't know about the Lee Haney games, the show
Wow.
that he's
Yeah,
doing.
yeah, yeah.
And now both of those clients, I'm training them for that specific show.
Wow, amazing.
They're going to do that show. So Lee, if you're watching,
Yeah, we
we
have
had
to
you
tell
on, and I
him.
got two of my clients going to your show.
I'll let him know. He'll love it. He'll love it.
Yeah, yeah, just from watching it because
Yeah,
they just weren't aware of the show, and they were like, they're
yeah,
competing in shows before that. And they're like,
yeah,
oh, what do you think about doing that show? And I said, let's do
yeah,
it.
yeah. I
100%.
mean, unfortunately, I don't think Lee has any bad blood with the Manions or anything like that. But he decided to go on his own, which he has every right to do.
That's
Okay.
fine. That's his deal.
And I checked about it when something was sanctioned by the NPC and all of a sudden it's not sanctioned by the NPC on their website. Because I noticed this week, Joshua Haney put up a post saying that the show is still on and it's not canceled. Um,
It's
um,
definitely on.
yeah, unfortunately, the NPC website, when a show was with them and it's not with them any longer, they're not sanctioning it. They write canceled.
Yeah,
It's
they
canceled from
not say
their
that
side.
it's
Yeah,
canceled from the NPC and their
yeah.
show.
It's the way they go about it, which I don't agree with,
Well, maybe not, but they don't also have the need to necessarily say Lee Haney show is now here.
No, no,
They're
they
just
don't
saying it's
have to.
canceled.
They don't
So
have
that's
to.
they
They
don't really
just should
have to.
just remove it. Just I don't think, when I see like a guy like Joshua, his son, telling people, listen, my father, eight-time Mr. Olympia, his show is still on, it's not canceled. It's really like a little black cloud over things. So, I
They had a
try
good, yeah.
I try sharing stuff and the show is still on. It's gonna be I mean, like every other year, it's gonna be huge. This year it might be bigger. Um, and he's emphasizing team bodybuilding as well. So I think it's leehaneygames.com and just register and you can compete. And I think everybody's easy to get information from. And I mean, if anybody wants to ask us and we can relay the message and get the information from Lee, it's not a problem. I promised him that I'll help him promote the show. uh Unfortunately, in this industry, some people cannot, even though they want to, but it is what it is. uh um, and I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, I won't be there. It'd be nice to go to Atlanta to watch the show, but and attend it. But I'm gonna do as much as I can to help him, promote it. I think as it gets closer, it's in November, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's November, early
As it
November,
gets
I think.
closer, I think he'll start pushing it even more and maybe appearing on, or he can come back on our show.
Yeah,
He's
always
always
love to
welcome.
have Leon. There's
He's always,
endless things we could talk to him about.
yeah, he's always welcome, and maybe even after, the Olympia and after his show as well. It's in the same period. The Olympia is in October, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So, we can, by then, hopefully the show gets a bit more popular. I thank the people for all the good comments they're giving us. Obviously things take time, to gain traction with more viewers and things like that. I mean, obviously Eric's popular in the industry. I was more behind the scenes on my website, so people knew me in a different way. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say it here. It's a different. If you have a podcast with top five bodybuilding stars, obviously will gain traction immediately, or you have Flex Lewis with his show, Labrada with his show. These guys are legends, so it takes time, so we'll keep putting out the shows. The shows are there. Whoever wants to watch them, none of it's outdated because we talk about things that are
And
relevant.
if you find the show now and it's the first time, go back and watch the other ones because they
Yeah,
all have
yeah.
good information.
You don't have to stay watching it. You can just listen to it,
Yeah.
other than
Maybe you
us.
just want to hear me answer questions and
Yeah,
somebody.
answer questions or me going through folders that nobody's seeing.
Right. Or Kevin just on there, or Kevin yawning while I'm talking. You
Yeah,
never
I
know.
could. Again, there's a 9 hour difference between us.
I just think that was a great moment in
Yeah, that
podcast
was
history.
that was that was good. That was good. But
All right.
uh
Well, I think that these people are sick of us, so we should go now.
yeah, yeah, it's shooting the crap.
But
So that's it for now, and we'll
yeah, thank you guys for watching.
see
We
you next
appreciate it.
week. And who knows what? Hopefully Victor Martinez gets out of
Oh
the
yeah, pray for
hospital.
Victor, and who knows what Kevin will show me next week and
Yeah,
surprise
who
me
knows
that he
what
finds on the
I'll
internet.
what I find when I'm on the sofa watching Netflix, flicking through
All
my
right.
mobile section. Yeah.
Yep.
I have to get an image for that.
All right. Well, from the big Merlin and
Yeah,
the mini Merlin, where's his hat? There
yeah,
it is. See
yeah.
you guys.
That's it. See you guys later.
All
Bye.
right.